No matter where you run, they will always find you. Ball Guy, Pokemon Sword and Shield's definitive mascot character who very quickly became the subject of memes, much to my dismay. I will fully admit I wasn't too keen on Ball Guy the first time I saw them, but after having a lot more time to sit on things, I've come around. They're obviously meant to be this weird mascot that plays into the theming of spectator sports that the Galar region leaned into with their Pokemon League. Honestly, I did like the overall feeling of the Galarian tournament in the Pokemon League, especially with each stadium and all the uniforms and everything that they set up. And I love that they were so dedicated to the bit that they created this thing. And really, even though the Pokemon franchise itself very prominently uses Pikachu imagery to hype up fans, serving as a recognizable icon, we don't see too much of this in the actual Pokemon games themselves. Sure, maybe once in a while from time to time, but introducing a mascot as widespread and nearly developed enough to be a character itself was a great idea. Recently, while doing my current challenge run of Pokemon Sword, I've been reminded of our favorite dude as they actually give out rare Pokeballs, which is a great way of tying it into the theming of the game while providing a useful and fan-favorite service. And sure, we've seen a fair share of merchandise and other ubiquity in all aspects of the Pokemon franchise, but Ball Guy's most recent debut in Pokemon Masters has really solidified their meme status. For one thing, they're appropriately partnered up with Amoonguss, which is its own meme factory, but even the story that they gave them is a pretty funny one. After arriving in Pasio, Ball Guy is surprised to discover that they can't get people as excited as they can in the Galar region by handing out Pokeballs. This is because Pasio has no wild Pokemon, so there's really no need for them. And that's a pretty interesting concept because Ball Guy isn't so much a character as they are a mascot with a specific job. One that has no meaning on the island of Pasio, thus leaving them without a purpose. So, with the help of Torrance of all people, they devise a plan. Meanwhile, we catch up with Elio, Ethan, and Victor who talk about Ball Guy, and I just love their interactions with each other. Especially when Elio hears about Ball Guy and likens the idea to Professor Kukui as the Masked Royal, it's hilarious. Now we just need Clavel to complete the trilogy. And I also like how Ethan calls back to Kurt, the Pokeball Smith of Johto. It's a fun little moment. But then Ball Guy just goes around beating up anybody and everybody with a squad of souped up Voltorb and is basically a villain to the point that Looker needs to step in. But once cornered, Ball Guy reveals that this was their way of helping everyone in Pasio train and get excited about battling. Just that they were inspired by Bryson's acting to take on the role of a villain to help get serious. Honestly, I can't get mad at that conclusion because when you really think about it, Ball Guy is an entertainer like a few other characters we see in Pokemon. So of course it would take some influence from that. And during the conclusion, we even see Ball Guy gets to hang out with the Masked Royal and Licia, so that just further drives home the point of how these entertainers play a role in the Pokemon world. And I do really like that this was a way that they could bring in Ball Guy and relate them to the rest of the Pokemon characters, because otherwise it seems a little weird with the giant ball head. But when you look at things from that angle, it all just works out. I actually decided to roll 110 Scout for Ball Guy and not only got 1, but 2 balls.
Ta-da! Look who just rolled up! It's your pal, Ball Guy! I nominate myself as Pasio's mascot too! I'm cheering everyone on!
Dude, the voice for Ball Guy is amazing. It perfectly captures the goofy mascot sound. Apparently the voice is even Kellen Goff, who also voiced Funtime Freddy and Glamrock Freddy, so yeah, that checks out. Also, I might as well mention that this is one of my new favorite images of the week. I haven't read the Sword and Shield series of the Pokemon manga, but within the first chapter after the protagonist helps save a young child, Casey, the manga counterpart of Gloria, decides that wearing a Ball Guy head is a good idea. Though she doesn't see the potential horror in it, she just genuinely thinks the face is cute. And that is hilarious. I should honestly get around to reading that. It's so interesting how this NPC, who was intended to be a mascot in-universe, has actually ended up being a pretty lovable dude amongst the fans. Obviously, not everybody is completely in love with Ball Guy in the same way we all unanimously love someone like, I don't know, Larry, but something about adapting the iconic Pokeball into a friendly mascot is so endearing. It's hilarious that Ball Guy is treated like its own thing, the true identity being a complete mystery with how they're even referred to on their trainer card. Who really is Ball Guy? But let me know what you think about the Galar region's favorite mascot and if you've played this event and if you've rolled for Ball Guy. Also, is it just me or is it weird that Pokeball is 2 words instead of 1? I've been writing it wrong the whole time. Thank you to every channel member for your continued support, especially the Great Gators, Cheeseburger Lasers, Gavnuts, Justin R, Cosmo Zero, Michaela, Mr. Pig Puncher, Phantom Pyro, Quago, Volity, and Pastel Blood. If you would like to support, get your name shouted out here as well as access to emotes and comments, live streams, and some early videos, you can become a channel member today. You can also follow me on Twitter as well, but anyway, this has been GatorEX, and I'll catch you all later.
Time for a Kids WB Kickstart. In soccer, scoring a goal can be hard work. It takes the whole team, passing the ball, setting up the shot, and getting it past the goalkeeper. Working together, scoring together, that's teamwork. Kickstart your way to becoming an all-star through teamwork. This Kickstart message has been brought to you by US Youth Soccer and Kids WB.